And now, you are watching WCTV News live at 5.
Welcome to WCTV's Newscast live at 5. I'm Joe Shirillo.
And I'm Sarah Clegg.
Waynesburg University hosted a block party event for students on Tuesday. WCTV's Dean Shazer was there with the story.
Waynesburg University's Student Activities Board hosted a block party event on Tuesday, September 22nd. Except it wasn't a block party.
Due to the rain, the block party moved from what was supposed to be Johnson Commons to inside the Benham Hall here at Waynesburg University.
Students had opportunities to receive free t-shirts with airbrush designs, drink boba tea,
drink, brother,
and listen to music. There was even a cheese tray. Graduate Assistant Larissa Howe has more.
And today we're just kind of getting all the students engaged. Like Ashley said, it wasn't Johnson Commons. We moved it back inside because of the rain, which kind of was unfortunate. I think it would have been more fun if it was outside. But yeah, we're just kind of getting everyone engaged. Everyone gets free stuff, so everyone loves free stuff. So involvement and engagement is always pretty high with events like this.
I think it's a really good thing for, you can get your own customized t-shirt free of charge. I feel like it's definitely going to give you the idea of creativity, getting whatever you want. I think it's a very good idea. So,
from WCTV Channel 14 News, I'm Dean Shazer.
Despite the rain yesterday, Waynesburg had their monthly farmers market on High Street. Anthony DeFilippo has that story.
On a rainy day in Waynesburg, people still gather on West High Street to get the freshest food in the county at the farmers market. Although there were only 7 vendors compared to the usual 13, market manager Scott Hackenberg found it important to provide his fresh produce to the residents.
People do start to rely on it and come to look for that day. That's market day, so I'm going to the market.
The Waynesburg Farmers Market runs every Wednesday from 9 to 1, mid-May through mid-October. Everything being sold is locally grown, baked, or even created from Greene County businesses. One of those businesses is the Lazy Dough, created just 6 months ago by Kirsten Rohanna and her husband.
The Waynesburg Farmers Market really helped, really got my name out there. So I think it did help me a lot, in terms of getting my name out there.
Even in the rain, the Waynesburg Farmers Market is still open for business. It's an opportunity for the residents of Greene County to get some of the freshest produce on the market.
I think everybody has a right to be able to get, good, wholesome food, local foods.
That's exactly what the committee thought when they launched the farmers market in 2006. One of those members is now making artwork to sell at the market.
What I'm selling here is art, and we create ornaments, little plaques, and these adorable little things that you can put up on stands.
Nelson has been creating art in Greene County since 1979. Last year, her work was featured in a showcase at Waynesburg University. Today, her pieces highlight scenes from more than 4 decades of Waynesburg history.
I like to do art that people can use. It's just what I do. It's really fun, and people just like to interact.
As for the farmers market, Hackenberg echoes the same sentiment, crediting the residents of Greene County.
It's the people. When you're on the farm with your dogs and whatever, you sometimes need humans to talk to, so I enjoy the interactions.
The Waynesburg Farmers Market is still open for about 3 weeks before it closes for the season on October 15th and goes into hiatus until about mid-May. From High Street in Waynesburg, Pennsylvania, and for WCTV Channel 14, I'm Anthony DeFilippo.
There's a new swing lab at the Greene County Country Club for Waynesburg University golfers to use and practice with. Logan Arblaster gives us a closer look.
The Swing Lab is home to Waynesburg University's men's and women's golf programs, located on the grounds of the Greene County Country Club. The lab features 3 Unicore iXO golf simulators, giving players instant swing analytics and virtual course play. A member of the women's golf team spoke on how indoor training at the Swing Lab helps her game.
Every time I step in here, I always set myself goals for here and on the course, so this definitely helps me a lot.
Allison also highlighted what features she relies upon most.
The simulator, you can actually see replay-wise, how your club faces, where on the actual course, you can't really see that stuff unless you fully take a look at it. But on here, we can replay your swing and see what you need to work on to improve that.
The facility also includes a 250 square foot putting and chipping green, giving golfers space to hone their short game indoors year-round. Best of all, the Swing Lab is now open to the public. For WCTV Channel 14, I'm Logan Arblaster.
The Waynesburg University Intramural Volleyball League continued play last night, and Benicio DeFalco has more.
Intramural sports are back at Waynesburg University. With new leadership, students can expect an exciting and active fall semester.
Intramurals have been dormant on this campus for 3+ years now and haven't really been a part of student life, and he said if you want to take it on, all the power to you. So Kevin and I have convened over the summer and just kind of came up with a game plan for how we're going to bring intramurals back to the campus life here this year.
Intramural volleyball kicked off last Wednesday, bringing energy to campus right away. Even though the school year just began, intramurals are already off to a hot start, with students jumping into the action early this fall.
The fact we got 5 teams right now, I think, is a huge win for us. And we had a great first day here. A lot of competitiveness, a lot of energy, and a lot of fun. And now we're about to kick week 2 off with hoping to build on that.
Volleyball is just the beginning. Kevin Thacker and Zach Stevenson have big plans ahead. Students, keep an eye on your email throughout the school year so you don't miss out.
It's going to be an active thing. It's not just going to be a once-in-a-while thing. We have volleyball going right now. We have 2 more weeks of it. Then we'll take a week off for fall break, and then we'll come back and get dodgeball going. And then second semester, we'll get basketball and then something in the spring. But we're aiming for 2 leagues each semester.
For all things WCTV, I'm Benicio DeFalco.
WCTV's Michael McKenzie was at this week's chapel service in Roberts Chapel, where a recent Waynesburg graduate was the guest speaker.
Waynesburg University held their weekly chapel service this past Tuesday. It was the last chapel service before Chaplain Anthony Jarrell takes the position at the university. The service included a performance from the Lamplighters Choir and a sermon from guest speaker Ross Owens. Owens graduated from Waynesburg in the spring of 2025 and now works as a middle school director at Christ Church at Grove Farm in the Pittsburgh area. His sermon centered around keeping your focus on the goals you have in mind.
In the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, the author gives this one tip. One of the 7 tips actually is to begin with the end in mind. There he's convincing you, trying to push you to let the driving force of your everyday life be aimed at that very thing that you want to achieve.
Chapel is held every Tuesday at 1 p.m. when classes are in session.
Later tonight is the Waynesburg University Paint and Dip event. Students who signed up can go to the Beehive at 8 for music, food, and painting. To see all of the upcoming events around campus, including laser tag next Tuesday, students can head to their MyConnect pages to find that link.
Coming up, the Palestinian president speaks to the United Nations General Assembly.
Plus, a shooting at an ICE facility in Texas. All that and more on the newscast.
Welcome back to WCTV's Newscast. People from all over the world are focused on what's happening in New York this week. That's as leaders gather for the United Nations General Assembly. But many UN representatives say part of their focus is on what's happening far away in Gaza. Amy Kiley reports on how today's UN agenda is giving the Palestinian people a voice.
As famine and attacks continue in Gaza, the leader of the Palestinian Authority is addressing the UN General Assembly remotely today. President Mahmoud Abbas can't travel to New York. The Trump administration is barring him from the U.S. by refusing him a visa.
If they think that this way they will silence us, they're mistaken.
Abbas's speech today comes after a UN inquiry concluded Israel is committing genocide in Gaza. That's also the finding of the International Association of Genocide Scholars.
What has this baby What has this baby done?
The Palestinian Health Ministry says about 65,000 Gazans have died during the ongoing conflict. The UN agency reports more than 500,000 Gazans are starving.
I went in February and met kids who had had amputations without anesthetics. It's horrendous that kids dying of starvation, effectively their bodies consuming their own organs.
Israel denies it's committing genocide and says it's acting in self-defense.
Only pressure on Hamas will move the needle.
The Trump administration is pushing for a ceasefire with a new 21-point plan. It's not backing a two-state solution.
Instead of giving in to Hamas's ransom demands, those who want peace should be united with one message: release the hostages now.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
One detainee is dead and 2 more are in serious condition following a shooting at around 6:40 Wednesday morning at a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement field office in Dallas, Texas. The FBI is investigating the deadly incident as an act of targeted violence. No law enforcement officers were injured. Ivan Rodriguez brings us the latest from the Lone Star State.
Outside a Dallas ICE facility, multiple gunshots rang out Wednesday morning as a woman waited in her car for her mom to finish an immigration appointment. The Department of Homeland Security says a, quote, sniper identified by sources as 29-year-old Joshua Jan fired at the ICE facility from a nearby rooftop, shooting 3 detainees, then himself.
No law enforcement was injured.
Officials have given little information about a possible motive, yet Vice President J.D. Vance blamed inflammatory rhetoric from Democratic leaders and the media.
An Immigrations and Customs Enforcement facility was opened fire upon by a violent left-wing extremist, a person who wrote anti-ICE messaging on their bullets, and there's some evidence that we have that's not yet public, but we know this person was politically motivated.
Republican Senator Ted Cruz called for an end to political violence.
To every politician who is using rhetoric demonizing ICE and demonizing CBP, stop.
This shooting was at least the 4th instance of violence or threat at an ICE or Customs and Border Protection facility in Texas this year. One of those instances was a bomb threat in August at the same facility where Wednesday's shooting took place.
We're a country and a city that needs prayer.
In Dallas, Texas, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
The man accused of attempting to kill President Donald Trump last year on a Florida golf course has been convicted. Tuesday, Ryan Rolfe was found guilty on all 5 federal charges, including attempted assassination of a major presidential candidate. During the jury's reading of the verdict, Ralph appeared to try and stab himself with a pen in the neck. An eyewitness inside the courtroom said authorities were able to stop him. The 59-year-old Ralph represented himself during the trial. In closing arguments, both prosecutors and the defendant focused on Ralph's intent. Prosecutors said Ralph was stalking President Trump at the president's golf course, but never fired a shot. Ralph, in trial, claimed an assassination was, quote, never going to happen, end quote, and therefore no intent. He will be sentenced on December 18th.
Top Justice Department leaders are pushing to charge President Trump's former advisor, John Bolton, this week. That's according to 2 sources familiar with the investigation. Bolton served as Trump's national security advisor during his first term, but later became a harsh critic of the president. He's being investigated for allegedly mishandling national security documents. While senior DOJ officials want to move forward now, prosecutors think they could bring a stronger case if they wait until the end of the year. Last month, the FBI seized multiple documents marked classified from Bolton's D.C. office. Bolton's lawyer says any records he had would be typical of those kept by a longtime government official.
That will do it for the national news. Coming up next is Kat Taylor with business and entertainment. But first, we step outside with Ethan Spazarski for a quick look at the weather.
Is it a bird? Is it a plane? The correct answer is it's rain. As it's been actively raining all day here at Waynesburg University, the 3rd floor on this balcony here in the Stover Center currently underwater. Will that weather continue heading in later in the week? Well, you're just going to have to stay tuned and find out.
Welcome back to the newscast. I'm Kat Taylor with your business and entertainment update. Amazon will pay an historic $2.5 billion settlement. The Federal Trade Commission says it's for allegedly tricking customers into signing up for its Prime subscription service and making it hard to cancel. The FTC says customers were harmed by, quote, deceptive Prime enrollment practices. $1.5 billion will be refunded to roughly 35 million customers. The settlement also includes a $1 billion civil penalty. The FTC says Amazon must include, quote, clear and conspicuous disclosures about the terms of Prime during enrollment and provide an easy way to cancel. The settlement ends a 2-year dispute over the allegations, and it comes only a few days into a trial between the FTC and an online company. Amazon in a statement said it and the executives have always followed the law. Neither the company nor its executives admit to the wrongdoing. Sean Diddy Combs was back in court Thursday ahead of next week's sentencing. His lawyers were asking for his conviction to be vacated. In July, Combs was convicted on 2 charges of transportation to engage in prostitution. Each count carries a sentence of up to 10 years in prison, but his lawyers has asked the federal judge for a sentence of no more than 14 months in prison. Combs' family, friends, former employees, and business associates have submitted more than 70 letters asking the judge for leniency. The judge on Thursday did not make an immediate ruling on Combs' request to vacate the conviction or a bid for a new trial. Combs is scheduled to be sentenced October 3rd. In July, a jury acquitted Combs on the more serious charge he faced: racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking. The Trump administration's tariffs on imported cars and parts have rocked the auto industry. President Donald Trump is hoping the added tax will push many automakers to open plants in the U.S. and create more jobs back home. While many automakers are absorbing tariff costs, buyers are still experiencing higher prices. In today's Consumer Watch, Jen Sullivan breaks down how much more you can expect to pay.
If you're in the market to buy a pre-owned car, be prepared for some sticker shock.
If you walk in there blind and you have no idea what the numbers are going to look like, I think you're going to be offended when they present numbers to you that you didn't expect.
Joseph Yoon with Edmunds says used car prices skyrocketed during the early pandemic when manufacturing and imports halted. The auto industry is still recovering. According to Edmunds, the average transaction prices for cars that are 3 years old was more than $31,000. That's up 5.2% from last year. Yoon also says automakers aren't offering many deals these days, and buyers have less negotiating power on the price.
Your local dealership may run specials, but it's not the same sales that used to be there before the pandemic.
Yoon says the price of new cars has gone up recently, and because of that, he says more people are buying used. But there's much less inventory, and fewer people are leasing cars, which is also hurting the pre-owned car market.
Those cars aren't coming back to dealer lots as used vehicles, which means inventory will remain stunted for quite a while.
Tariffs are also driving up the cost of repairs. Most imported car parts are facing a 25% tariff, and there's a separate 50% tariff on imported steel and aluminum, some of which ends up in car and truck production. The price of car repairs jumped 5% from July to August, according to the latest Consumer Price Index report, which measures inflation, and repair costs are up 15% from a year ago. If you are looking to purchase a pre-owned car, Yoon says you'll find the best deals at the end of the year as dealerships make room for the 2026 models. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
The U.S. economy's bounce back during the second quarter has been revised higher again. Gross domestic product rose 3.8% from April through June, according to the Commerce Department's third and final estimate. That's a half point more than the rate given during the second report. Analysts say increased consumer spending and falling imports helped boost the economy over the past few months. The Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta predicts the GDP resume its growth in the third quarter. Today in entertainment news, the magic of Oz, the mysteries of miracles, and a last-minute postponement. Here's David Daniel with the Hollywood Minute.
Here's the plan. I have no plan.
Well, I do.
Oh, thank Oz.
The final trailer is out for Wicked for Good, the conclusion of the big screen extravaganza based on the Tony Award-winning musical starring Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, flies into theaters November 21st.
Apparition miraculeuse. Une jeune fille dit avoir vu la Vierge.
Bernadette of Lourdes, the musical, is in U.S. theaters this Sunday and Monday, commemorating the 100th anniversary of St. Bernadette of Lourdes' beatification. More info and tickets at fathomentertainment.com.
It's going to be a coordinated mass attack. Locked and loaded, been planted for months.
The hunt has begun.
Apple TV Plus has postponed the launch of its limited series, The Savant. inspired by the true story of a woman who infiltrates online hate groups to prevent attacks. It was scheduled to debut Friday. Executive producer and star Jessica Chastain posted on Instagram she's not aligned with the decision to postpone, writing, "While I wish this show wasn't so relevant, unfortunately it is. The Savant is about the heroes who work every day to stop violence before it happens, and honoring their courage feels more urgent than ever." No word yet from Apple on a new release date. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
That will do it for your business and entertainment update. I'm Kat Taylor. When we return on the newscast, Anthony DeFilippo has your sports.
I'm working here. My bad.
Welcome back to the newscast live at 5. I'm Anthony DeFilippo with your sports. Last night, Waynesburg men's and women's soccer teams tied Westminster in the PAC play opener 0-0. That's right, none of the 4 teams that played yesterday scored a goal. Waynesburg comes home to play Bethany on Saturday. Kickoff for the first game is at 1. Volleyball dropped their 3rd straight match in PAC play last night against Bethany 3-0. They'll look to reset in a tri-match against Grove City and La Roche at 11-3 on Saturday. Women's tennis was postponed today against Westminster. That scheduled home game is going to be played tomorrow at 4. Saturday brings an action-packed schedule, as is the norm for this time of year. Men's and women's track and field are at the Dickinson Long-Short Invitational at 10:30 a.m. Men's and women's golf are both at the Franciscan Invitational at 1:30. Then a 1-2 football team heads to Greenville to take on Teal. Seth Adams, Joe Chirillo, and Chase Maseko have the call on WCYJ-FM 99.5 The Hive. Staying local and shifting to Friday night lights in Greene County, Waynesburg Central actually plays tonight against Seton LaSalle on the road at 7. Carmichael's hosts Bentworth. Mapletown hosts California. West Greene is at home against Jefferson Morgan. All of those Friday games are at 7. Lastly, heading over to the pro side of things, the NFC West comes into the spotlight tonight on Thursday Night Football when the Arizona Cardinals host the Seattle Seahawks. Who wins? I'm not quite sure, but what I do know is that the passing game is going to be super important for both teams tonight. Kickoff is at 8:20. On Sunday, the Steelers kick things off in Ireland against the Vikings at 9:30 in the morning. It's the first NFL game in Ireland, and why not feature the best traveled team in sports? So to make sure to set your alarms early, I know I will. That's all for sports today. I'm Anthony DeFilippo. Ethan Spazarski has your weather.
Ha! Gotcha!
Fading up to Tyler and Mia in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, I'm Mia Hinkins.
And I'm Tyler Aaron, and welcome
to Jacket Sports Weekly.
April showers may bring May flowers, except it's not April and there are no May flowers, but there is a lot of showers. Today in Waynesburg, PA, we are faced with a wet day that had a lot of on and off showers throughout the entire day, despite being over 70 degrees for most of the day. Luckily, though, for the rest of the week, looks like it's going to be much more dry. Tomorrow will be faced off with a high of 77 degrees with the clouds in the morning, but more sun in the afternoon and evening. Saturday will be provided with a cloudy day all day. However, the third day in a row, temperatures will range above 70 degrees and even dip down into 56 low in the evening. Sunday will bring back the sun into the equation, and the entire day is scheduled to be partly cloudy with a high near 80 degrees at 78 degrees. Starting for our full week forecast, Monday brings us our highest high temperature of the week at 80 degrees, being another cloudy day. Tuesday brings, you guessed it, another cloudy day. However, this time it looks to be more cloudy than partly. We have a high of 77 degrees and a low of 53. Finally, Wednesday, we will be partly cloudy with a high of 75 and a low of 47. That will be our first potential time seeing temperatures drop low below 50. And for the first time since near the middle of summer, looks like we could even carry that later into the week. While this week may seem gloomy and at times cloudy, make sure to enjoy the weather now, because as the leaves have started to change, that soon will be the weather as well. That's going to do it for me, Ethan Spazarski. Now back up to Joe and Sarah to close us out.
That will do it for the newscast live at 5 for everyone behind the scenes and in front of the camera. Thank you for watching.
Stay tuned on our WCTV YouTube page and social media platforms for more Waynesburg content.
This has been a production of Waynesburg Community Television.